Well, hello everyone, my name is Darnell Self, and I'm here today with my business partner and friend, Brian Carruthers. And we're excited to share with you some information that's truly blessed our lives. Now, even though Brian and I are both Millionaire Club members with LegalShield today, we started our businesses in very different places. You see, I had a background in retail management, and believe it or not, I worked at the mall from the 11th grade all the way through college. And unfortunately, my experience in retail actually outweighed my degree from college. So there I was managing a clothing store, making about $40,000 a year, but working 60, 70, and sometimes 80 hours a week. And in retail, the most important times are weekends, so I missed everything that happened in my personal life on the weekends. My kids' sporting events, birthday parties, family reunions were all on the weekends. So I said to myself in my 20s, no way am I gonna do this for the rest of my life. And back then, retirement was 55 years old. And when you're in your 20s, 55 is old. Now, I'm in my 40s now, so it's not old anymore. It's just halftime. I'm just coming out the locker room. Well, I'm thankful that I stepped out on faith because I started my LegalShield business at 28 years old. And just 2 years later, my wife went on maternity leave from her job at the cable station. Well, we call it eternity leave because she never went back. Because of LegalShield, we've been stay-at-home parents for our 4 children ever since. And just as importantly, we're now blessed to give away more to charities and missions that we support, more than we used to make in an entire year working at our jobs.
So my story is just a bit different. In my 20s, I was earning a strong 6-figure income in my real estate career. My family owned a 24-office real estate company, and if I just stayed doing that, my life would have been set with a very significant income all throughout my future. But I was working a lot of hours, and more importantly, I wanted to have more of a purpose that would give me drive and give me richer fulfillment. So even from completely different backgrounds, both Darnell and I saw the LegalShield business you're hearing about right now as a better way, a way to create a lifestyle of wealth, abundance, time freedom, and even giving forward. So if you need more income or more time freedom, or if you're doing well in those areas already and you just be excited about getting involved with something revolutionary where you can make a difference, what you're about to see can be life-changing for you too. If you can find a void in the marketplace and be the first to fill it and the best to fill it, that's where fortunes can be created. It's all about being in the right place at the right time and having the smarts to seize the moment and capitalize. So get ready, Darnell's going to share with you 2 major market needs that LegalShield and IDShield are filling. Then I'll be back to go over the several ways you will be able to capitalize financially.
So let's talk a little bit about LegalShield. The first thing you want to do when you're evaluating any opportunity is take a look at the company. You want to make sure the company is credible, it's authentic, it's not going to be in business today and gone out of business tomorrow. Number 2 and number 3, very important, that's the need and the product. You see, LegalShield's found a very significant void, and that void is called the justice system. And we all know the real color of justice is not black, white, or any other color, but green. And unfortunately, we get as much justice as we can afford, but the average person simply cannot afford $300 an hour for a lawyer, so LegalShield's leveling that legal playing field for the first time in North America. We've also realized that the #1 crime in the world is a scary crime called identity theft, and we're offering the most robust and viable solution to that crime, our IDShield. Now, we're also going to talk a little bit about the compensation. You see, I have a nonprofit, but this is not one of them. We get paid for letting people know that these services exist. And then finally, the timing. You see, in real estate, they say location's everything, but in business, timing's everything. So let's talk about our established company, our unique business model. First of all, our company was established in 1972. That means we have a track record. We're a solid company with 40 years of history. We're not looking for guinea pigs. We're not wondering if this works. Again, we've got a track record of success. We already have 3.7 million lives across the US and Canada protected with our services. And we have a proprietary system of quality law firms covering 49 states and 4 provinces of Canada. We have a quick video, give you a little bit more information about LegalShield, and I'll be back to continue with our presentation.
For more than 40 years, LegalShield has been revolutionizing the legal services industry. Revolutionizing the legal services industry that doesn't quite capture the personal, lasting impact we have made and continue to make on thousands of individuals' lives. Imagine having an everyday concern or question where getting the advice of an attorney would be useful. Imagine the trauma of discovering that you are the victim of identity theft. Imagine encountering a situation where the advice of an attorney is absolutely imperative. Now imagine addressing all that stress with one phone call. That's what we do for you at LegalShield. You can speak to an attorney without the worry of having to pay an attorney's typical fees. And together with our identity theft services, we provide you with a shield that results in powerful peace of mind. We were founded in 1972 by Harlan Stonecipher. He had just endured his own stressful, costly encounter with the legal system after a car accident that was not his fault. He was determined to make legal protection available to everyone, everywhere. Today, we have evolved into the force for good that Mr. Stonecipher originally envisioned. Based in Ada, Oklahoma, we have approximately 700 employees with a customer service team of more than 300, all focused on calibrating the efforts of our dedicated law firms and approximately 6,900 attorneys in the United States and Canada. Each law firm is there for our members, providing the legal help they need when they need it. So, for one low monthly membership fee, you can pick up the phone to call an attorney and get advice about any issue. We provide these legal services to families all across North America, answering approximately 40,000 calls per week for members. That's right, 40,000 times a week, we help smooth out the knots, kinks, and inconveniences in our members' lives. The attorneys at our law firms average 19 years of experience and have been partnering with us an average of 13 years. They are friendly, warm, and dedicated to helping LegalShield members. And just as we partner with an expert law firm for every state, we also partner with Kroll Advisory Solutions, the world-renowned leader in identity theft protection. That way, no matter what issue you might face, you're getting the help you need with LegalShield. What we do is simple. We work hard to make your life less complicated, less stressful, and more fulfilling. That's why with LegalShield, you can worry less and live more.
So that was a great video. And you can expect the video to say great things about LegalShield. You can expect me to say great things about LegalShield. I'm representing LegalShield. But let's talk about what others are saying about LegalShield. Yelp gives us a 5-star rating. The Better Business Bureau of Central Oklahoma gave us an A+ rating, and Consumer Affairs almost a 5-star rating. That's third-party validation and credibility. So let's talk about the need in the marketplace. You see, one year there was a study done, and it showed that 35 million people had to go to the hospital that one year. That same year, there were 96 million court filings. So you're almost 3 times more likely to end up in court than the hospital. But all of us have some type of health care or see the need in having health care, but most of us don't have any type of legal protection. So I know you would agree that bad things happen to good people too. And good people sign contracts and documents and later on wish they wouldn't have signed them. They say the bold print giveth, but the fine print taketh away. But good people are overcharged for repairs, treated unfairly, taken advantage of. They even receive traffic tickets. You see, it's not if, it's just when. I've been with LegalShield now for over 15 years, and I can't tell you how many of my friends call me and say, hey, Darnell, you still doing the legal thing? That's what my friends call it. And I say, yeah. They say, well, I need the service. You know why? It's not if, it's just when. It's not if you disobey the speed limit, it's just when you get caught. And so it's exciting to know that we're filling such a significant void, realizing, again, that bad things happen to good people. So if you ever known a victim of identity theft, or you ever been in a situation where you thought the advice of a lawyer could help, LegalShield to the rescue. So we have over 2 million requests coming in annually for our services. You may be thinking, why are that many people calling lawyers? Well, one, for just personal legal advice, be able to pick up the phone with an unlimited number of issues that can be handled from a phone conversation without having to worry about a bill showing up after that advice. Now, I'll never forget the month before I joined LegalShield, my house is up for foreclosure, which is a very stressful situation I don't wish upon anyone. And the banks were calling my house. They were using language I wasn't familiar with, like your options of forbearance, mortgage modification, short sales. All that was foreign language. In fact, I stopped picking up the phone because back then caller ID had come out and my friends didn't have a 1-800 number. You know what I mean? And so my point is, I never thought about calling a lawyer during that situation because my thought process was, if I had the money to call a lawyer, I'd just pay for my mortgage. In other words, I was weighing my checkbook against my rights. And if I had LegalShield, I could have picked up the phone and got some legal advice and not have to worry about a bill showing up. We even give you 24-hour, 7-day-a-week emergency access for covered situations. If you're being questioned, detained, or arrested, they'll even write letters or make phone calls on your behalf if they deem that necessary. I never forget, a creditor was harassing me for $92. And I didn't owe him the money. And so I argued back and forth. I said, who's your supervisor? And they had me speak to a supervisor where they agreed with each other. And so I just simply called LegalShield. And LegalShield said, send us the information for that company. We'll write a letter on your behalf. Well, they sent me a copy of the letter, and it was strong. Had a bunch of legal jargon, but at the end, it said you must cease and desist all contact with our client pursuant to the Fair Debt Collections Practice Act. Doesn't that sound good? I mean, the letter scared me. I almost wrote myself a check for $92. My point is, I would have never known to say that because I don't know the law. But my point is, if you don't know your rights, you don't have any. And LegalShield can have your back in situations like that. They'll also review contracts and documents up to 15 pages each, which again is huge. It saved me thousands of dollars for one contract that the lawyers have reviewed for my wife and I. Our lawyers will also prepare a last will and testament for you, a living will, and a healthcare power of attorney. And I'm almost embarrassed to say at 28 years old, married with 2 kids when I joined LegalShield, I didn't have my last will and testament done. And you know, when you're young, sometimes you feel invincible, but death doesn't have an age attached to it, so it's smart to have one. I've seen siblings no longer speak because there wasn't a will in place. And LegalShield's taken away the #1 reason why people don't have their last will and testament done, which is a financial reason, because it's included with our LegalShield membership. They'll also assist you with traffic-related issues. I've had a couple of moving traffic violations. I have 2 older sons that drive now, and we added them to our auto insurance policy. Well, of course, that went up. And so we're just excited that we have access to a plan like this that can help us to try to keep the points off their license so their insurance costs won't go up. We have IRS audit assistance and civil trial defense for covered situations. That includes pretrial and actual trial hours. We even have family domestic services like uncontested divorce and uncontested adoption and uncontested separation and annulment and even uncontested name change. LegalShield members even qualify for a discounted hourly rate on pre-existing conditions. Try to get health insurance when you already have a pre-existing health condition. It's difficult. Try to get auto insurance when you've already banged up your car. Try to get life insurance, you pass away and come back. I know, a bad joke, but you get my point. And so it's exciting to know that there are people that have an ongoing legal situation right now and didn't know where to turn, and LegalShield can assist them under this area of coverage. Even if you're a plaintiff in a lawsuit or defendant in an excess of your trial defense hours, you'll still get your discount. Now, who's covered by the membership? This was exciting for me because I'm married with 4 children and my entire family is covered under this one plan. You see the members covered, the member's spouse, any never married dependent children, including full-time college students under the age of 26 and living at home, dependent children under the age of 18 from whom the members are legal guardian of, and physically and mentally disabled children living at home, all under this one membership. Now, let me ask you a question. If you were my lawyer, how much would you charge me for all of these different services? Forget the hourly rate. Let's work out one monthly fee. And I don't just want one lawyer, I want your entire law firm. And by the way, if I need you at 2 o'clock in the morning in an emergency situation, I want you to wake up, be coherent, and answer my question. How much for all of these services, not an hourly rate, but one monthly fee? Well, lawyers tell me, look, hundreds, Darnell, or thousands, or you can't afford me because I don't know how much you're going to use me. Well, LegalShield says, look, you can go get a lawyer for an average of what, $250 an hour, or you can join LegalShield for about $20 a month and get an entire law firm. You see, I have buddies that are lawyers. And they even love LegalShield because they don't know every area of law, like every doctor doesn't know every area of medicine. So it's exciting to know we have access to law firms all across North America. Well, of course, I'm going to say some great things about the LegalShield membership. I've used it dozens of times, but what are others saying about our LegalShield membership? Well, we have third-party validation like none other. We have former attorney generals saying great things about LegalShield. We have a retired circuit and family court judge saying wonderful things about our LegalShield membership. Now, that's third-party validation. Now, let's move on to identity theft. It is a major problem in America today. In fact, identity theft is repeatedly the #1 consumer complaint category in America. Identity theft manifests itself in many different ways. Most people think it's just financial, and that's only 20-something% of identity thefts. Let's talk about credit fraud or Social Security fraud, even driver's license fraud and medical fraud, criminal and character fraud, and tax return fraud. So ID Shield is the oldest new name in the industry. We have more than 1 million members. We have already given more than 200,000 personal identity consultations, and nearly 10,000 individuals have had their identities restored. We also monitor what matters: your privacy, Social Security number, your date of birth, your DMV records, passport, address, email, web persona, and even more. So with ID Shield, we care and we're always here for you. In fact, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, we have an emergency hotline, and we have unlimited non-emergency consultation, all with a free mobile app. Here's what differentiates us. We not only resolve the problem, but we restore your identity. And we have a team of licensed private investigators, and we do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to clear your records for life. And again, what separates us, and no one else has been able to do this, we actually have a $5 million service guarantee. 70% of ID thefts incur legal issues as well. Think about it. You're being pulled over for a routine traffic violation, but there's a bench warrant out for your arrest for something you didn't even do. Well, all of a sudden, that ID theft situation turned into a legal situation. And so with LegalShield and our ID Shield, we give you protection and peace of mind for just $39.90, $1 a day, and you can protect your family. Not only that, you can now download an app on your phone, and with the tap of your finger on your phone, you have access to your law firm, your IDT advisor, your member services, and 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, emergency access to your law firm in covered situations. So we have two goals as a company. One, to sign up every family with a legal plan and an identity theft plan. We're already servicing 3.7 million lives. We have over 34,000 companies that offer our services as an employee benefit. And so if you know a human resource director or a business owner or decision maker, it's a great opportunity for them to look like a hero by offering our services to their employees. Our second goal is to create more millionaires than any other company. And I can't help but smile when I say that. I know it sounds like a lofty goal, but we already have 190 millionaire club members with our company and several hundred six-figure ring earners. Now, I've shared the membership portion of this video, and I know that the membership makes sense. And I believe once you use it, it'll make sense to you too. Otherwise, you've got to say, I heard from the guy that worked at the mall, or I think, but you'll never be able to say, I know, until you use the services yourself. And once you do, I believe not only will you see an opportunity, but you'll feel an obligation to share with others. And I can't think of a better person to share the financial opportunity attached to LegalShield. And the person's already achieved millionaire club member status. And not only has he earned significant income, but he's helped to produce several dozen six-figure ring earners himself. And that's Mr. Brian Carruthers.
Well, thank you so much, Darnell. And let me start off by saying I love LegalShield. I will never be without my LegalShield membership. Over the last 16 years, I've actually utilized the services 57 different times. It saved me so much time, so much money, so much emotional stress that I did not have to handle because of this LegalShield membership. So what I'm going to do is share with you how you can personally Position yourself to profit from two of the biggest trends that are sweeping North America right now. Now, how do you get started up with a LegalShield business? First of all, we're going to share with you how much does it cost to get started, how do you get the business going, how do you do it, and how much can you actually earn in a business like ours. So first of all, the cost. When I got started in this business over 16 years ago, it cost $249 to get started up in the business. So with that $249 startup fee, which by the way, when I was in my real estate career just getting started, it cost me 3 times more just to get my real estate license. And I was limited to that geographic location in the Maryland, DC, Virginia area. You can market LegalShield memberships all across the United States and Canada. And that $249 fee gets your startup materials, your training materials, set up a website for you so you can actually have people go online and take a look at this information and even fill out their applications right there on the spot. We give you word for word, step-by-step training on exactly how to be successful in building a LegalShield business. So when I took a look at this information for the first time years ago, I was sitting there at my real estate career working 60, 70 hours a week. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't have time to do anything else. I have no more room on my plate. And fortunately, I didn't just think it, I actually said it out loud. And the gentleman that shared this information with me, he said, Brian, don't let your reason to do this business be your excuse not to. If you have no time, that's the reason why you need to do it, not your excuse not to. He said, if you don't have any time, that's why you need to build up a residual cash flow that will actually buy your time back. I said, but I don't have any time to build a side business. He said, Brian, it seems like you're extremely busy. I said, you have no idea. He said, what makes you think if you keep on doing what you're doing, 5 years from now, you'll be any less busy than you are today? And I started to think about it. He said, Brian, it's called split-second marketing. He said, how long is it going to take you to say to somebody, hey, go watch this webinar, or check out this video on this website, or let me have you listen to a conference call on the telephone, or let me walk you through a little flip chart or an iPad presentation, come out to a lunch and learn, or even a business briefing in the evening time. Because those systems and tools were in place, I was able to leverage those, and just 5 minutes here, 20 minutes there, just working this business part-time. My first year with LegalShield, I made more income from my home-based business with LegalShield than I was making full-time in my real estate career. So I can tell you, if I can do it, as busy as I was, absolutely you can too. Now, understand what I love about LegalShield. In my real estate career, everybody's got a real estate agent in their family or a friend. It's like they give away a real estate license in boxes of Cheerios now. But with the fact that in LegalShield, we have no real competition. And it's so refreshing. When I go out and talk to people about LegalShield, they can only get it from me. They can only get it from you. So the fact that there's such huge barriers of entry, you can actually build a business one time and have it pay you forever. So now let's talk about getting paid. There's 3 main ways that you get paid in your LegalShield business. First of all, you're going to get paid every time you go out there and market a membership to someone. Secondly, you can go out and build a team and generate override income, passive overrides to come into your pocket, even though you were not the one who told somebody about LegalShield. And number 3 is retaining those customers. Every member that stays on the book, you're going to earn residual income for the life of that membership as long as they stay on the service. So let's jump right on into exactly how you get started up in your business and how you start getting paid more and more as you go. This compensation plan example is based on a $39.90 combination. If you're selling a plan that's other than the $39.90, please be sure to check the compensation plan for details. So let's say somebody's going to buy a $39.90 combination, the LegalShield and ID Shield for their family. On each $39 sale, as an associate, you're earning a $100 commission. We get paid daily, by the way. Sign somebody up today, and you get paid as early as tomorrow. $100 on a $39 sale. When I heard that in my real estate career, I was used to a 6% commission selling houses, not this kind of return. I used to wait 90 to 120 days to get paid, not the next day wired into my account. So you're earning a minimum of $100 for each person that signs up for the service. Now, if you go sign 3 members up and you bring 1 associate into the company, they faster qualify you, moving you up to the next commission level. So for the same $39 sale, instead of making $100, now you're making $120. More for the same effort. And as you go out and build your business more and more people are signing up, you become a manager making $140. You become a senior manager making $160. You become a director making $190. A senior director making $230, all the way up to executive director making over $280 for each person that you are responsible for bringing to the table and them getting a LegalShield membership. So again, a $39 sale, and you're making anywhere from $100 to $280. Now that right by itself, I was completely blown away and I was all about this business. But the second way we get paid is called overrides. What is an override? Well, just like a real estate broker gets an override when a realtor sells a house. See, I was raised in a real estate family. My father built one of the largest real estate companies on the East Coast back in the 70s. So I grew up around it. And he always used to say, he said, Brian, you can go out and sell a house and make a lot of money. But he said, would you rather work hard or would you rather work smart? He said, wouldn't you rather be the real estate broker and have hundreds of agents out there working for you and get a little piece of the action off each one of their sales? Or like J. Paul Getty, one of the first recorded billionaires in American history. He said, I'd rather earn 1% off of the efforts of 100 people rather than earning 100% off his own efforts. So if you want to be in the broker seat, so instead of you only making money when you sign people up, what if you found other people that are overworked, underpaid, sick and tired of being sick and tired, or maybe they're just entrepreneurs looking for the next home run opportunity. They come on board as an associate just like you. Well, here's the way it works. Let's say you're a senior associate and you brought an associate on board. When that associate markets a membership, they're making 100, you're making the difference, which is that $20 margin or override. So let's say you had 3 associates you brought aboard, Jack, Bill, and Cindy. And between the 3 of them, next week they went out and marketed 10 memberships combined. Well, 10 times $20, you made $200 in overrides in your pocket, and you had nothing to do with the transactions. You weren't even in the country. Somewhere down the beach in Cancun, at least pulled out a postcard and said, what? Go, guys, go. You're excited because you're getting paid on the efforts of other people. That's called leveraged income. Now, these overrides are also cumulative. So let's say instead of you being a senior associate, let's say you were a senior manager. You're making $160 every time you sign somebody up. But if you go bring Jerry on board as an associate, and he's making $100 when he markets a membership, the difference between the $160, which is your level, and the $100, which is what he's getting paid, that's $60. The 20 plus 20 plus 20, that's $60 in overrides goes into your pocket. $60 on every $39 membership that Jerry's sending in. Can you imagine if you had associates that went out and did 10 memberships next week, and you got 60 times 10, $600 in overrides that went into your pocket? Now, some of you might be saying, okay, well, this sounds all great and everything, but I'm shy. I'm not sure how great I'd be at telling people about LegalShield. The great thing about this business is perfectly designed for shy people because even though you're shy, Jerry's not. You tell Jerry about LegalShield, he goes out and markets his 10 memberships. The company still sends that $600 override check to your home while you're home getting over your shyness. So I'll give you another example. Let's say you're a senior director. You're making $230 on each $39 membership that you sell. But let's say you bring me on board as a brand new associate. Every time I market a membership, I collect $39, I get paid $100. But you're the senior director, you're gonna earn an override of $20, plus $20, plus $20, plus $30, plus $40, all the overrides combined for a total of $130. So think about this. As an associate, I market 10 memberships. 10 times 130, you made over $1,300 in overrides in your pocket, and that's with just me going out and marketing those memberships. So at least remember me when it comes Christmas time this year. That's all I ask. Okay, so you're getting paid when you're signing people up. You're getting paid when others are signing people up, anywhere from $20 up to $180. The third way we get paid is called residual income. And this is the main reason why I decided to get started up in this business. In real estate, I could sell a house and make some immediate money. In LegalShield, I can go out and sell memberships and make immediate money. So I don't send the money back. I cash the checks. I get the deposits every single day. Trust me, I don't send them back. But I got involved for the long-term, ongoing, perpetuitous, what we call the residual income. And here's the way it works. These numbers that I'm sharing with you, these dollars are what's going to get paid to you immediately. We get paid daily, remember. But on top of that, a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, you're also going to earn a percentage of every one of those membership fees being sent into the company month after month, year after year, for the lifetime of those members on the service. Let me tell you something. If you remember the last job you had, maybe back in, let's say, the year 2000, how old were you and what were you doing back then? Now, are you at the same job now or are you doing something different? Because if you can think about it this way, if you've not been working that job anymore, they probably have not been paying you anymore. But what if you can do something one time and get paid over and over and over for it, even if you're not even doing that effort anymore? See, I've been with the company now for 16 years. When I first looked at this opportunity, I got a chance to meet people and talk to them, people who had signed people up for these services back in the 70s and 80s, and were still getting paid residually a decade or two later. Now, I'm that guy. I'm that example now. 1998, when I first came on board, September 98, I started signing people up. And here it is a decade and a half later, and I'm still getting paid a year after year after year from people back in 98, 99, 2000, 2001. I mean, I talk to thousands of our associates on a regular basis that are so excited because they're getting deposits coming in every single month from things that they have not done in a long, long time. So here's what I love. We get paid daily. We get huge upfront income when we sign somebody up ourselves, huge override income when others are signing people up, and third, we get paid that residual cash flow. Let me give you an example of how the business can work if you decide to not just be somebody who refers memberships from time to time, which is fine if you want to supplement your income that way, but you might be like me. You might say, man, this is a home run opportunity. I want to go out there and build a marketing team, not just locally, but all across the United States and Canada. So let's say you go out and find 3 people that you know that could use some extra income. And we show them, we don't expect you to do it, we're going to help teach and show them how and help them to be able to go out there and build their own team. And let's say we help them each recruit 3. Now you've got 9 more people that just joined your marketing team. And those 9 people each just bring aboard 3. That's 27 more. 3 that you brought aboard, plus the 9 they brought aboard, plus the 27, you've got 39 people on your marketing team. Now, there's people that have 3,900. We have people that have huge organizations already, and we're just getting started with this. Matter of fact, our real estate company my family built had thousands of agents that were selling houses for them. So I understand the concept of leverage and how badly we should all want it. But if you had 39 people on your team, and each of those 39 associates just sold one $39 membership per month, do you realize that your override income will be about $1,500 a month? $1,500 a month in your pocket. If those 39 people each just did 1 sale a week, your overrides would be about $6,000 a month. If they went out and did 1 sale a day, 39 people doing 1 sale a day, your overrides will be almost $45,000. And I'm trying to be fairly conservative because you can go out and introduce more than 3 people to the company, and they can go out and bring more people aboard as well. Some will go out and take it seriously. Some will just go out there and market memberships here and there when opportunities arise. But I wanted you to see that simple example of how swiftly you can get to a very meaningful income to be able to have a benefit in your life. Now, our company's paid out over $1 billion in commissions over the last 10 years. In a decade, over $1 billion. So this is not some kind of a theory. We're not just a startup company that may never even started up and get off the ground. This is a proven company that's been around for over 40 years that's already paying out over $1 billion just in the last 10 years. So on top of all these multiple ways we get paid for marketing our services, the company makes it even more fun because, look, I like to have fun, help people, and make a lot of money as a part of the process. And so one of the fun things they've done is they've created something called Performance Club. What that simply means is they give you a point every time you sign up a member. You get 2 points when somebody becomes an associate on your team. By the way, an associate's going to also get themselves a membership from you, so that's 3 points from one person. And if you go out and get 5 points a month, after doing that for 4 months, they're going to actually give you some special recognition. After 8 months in a row, they're going to give you a small one-time cash bonus. But after doing it for 12 months in a row, they're going to give you 2 options. Option 1, they're going to give you $300 a month cash bonus. As long as you keep doing your 5 points, you keep getting $300 a month. Or if you decide to, you can take delivery of a $500 cash award towards a brand new BMW. Now, I don't know about you, if you've been in the market for a new car, or if you ever thought you could even afford the ultimate driving machine, but we've got several hundred people already so far in LegalShield that are driving new BMWs, taking that $500 to be able to actually drive the dream car they've always been looking at. So huge money up front, long-term residual income, cash bonuses, car bonuses, and on top of that, the company will also use those same points to send you on exotic vacations. Now, I'm not sure what the last vacation was that you took and how you actually prepared for it. Were you planning along, figuring out your budget, how much you can afford to spend for your airfare, where you can stay as far as how much the hotel expense was going to be, what was going to cost to be able to eat while you're there. And when you got home, I bet, like most people, you're feeling a little bit guilty about all the money you just spent and over the next 6 to 12 months paying it off. Well, LegalShield really treats us extremely well. We've been able to go on vacations like Cancun, Maui, Dominican Republic, Atlantis in the Bahamas. I mean, just unbelievable vacations. LegalShield treats us like royalty. And speaking of royalty, the higher up you go on LegalShield, the better the trips even get. We've actually been able to go to places like over in London and stayed just down the street from the Queen's Palace. We've gone to Sea Island. We've gone to Rome, Italy, and amazing, amazing destinations. All that because LegalShield knows that we're out there protecting families, giving people empowerment and peace of mind. We're getting paid a lot of money, but they want to reward us in many, many different ways. Now, what I want to share with you right now is the timing. I believe the T in timing is way more important than the T in talent. And would you rather say I am smart or I is a millionaire? See, it's not about being smart. It's not about being the brightest person in the room. It's about being in the right place at the right time and capitalizing on it. So if you take a look at where we were in the year 2000, we had less than 1% market penetration for our services in North America. And in 2010, we just had a little over 1, almost 2%. And where we're projected between now and 2020, we're expecting to go well over 4% nationwide and even into Canada. So where we are right now with LegalShield is where medical insurance was 50, 60 years ago. Way back then, people said, I'm not going to prepay before I get sick. I'll pay my doctor bills when I go. It just didn't make any sense. It took 10 years for medical insurance to go from 0 to 2% market penetration, and then just 7 short years to go from 2 to 52%. And that's where we are right now with LegalShield, roughly 2%. And history dictates whenever an industry hits about 2%, critical mass or an explosion takes place, and all of a sudden everybody starts to get that product or service. USA Today says to us, it sounds like healthcare coverage before it turned into a $1 trillion industry. That's not me talking, that's USA Today. And when you take a look at the other industries that we are compared to sometimes, life insurance is already over $100 billion. Auto insurance, already over $100 billion. Health insurance, already over $100 billion. Legal is over a $100 billion industry, but we have not even broken into the double digits yet. And what I want to encourage you to think about as far as the timing, get involved now. When's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When's the second best time? Now. See, one of the great business coaches of all time and best-selling authors, Jim Rohn, always said, you work hard all day at your job to earn a living, but you should be working spare time nights and weekends building your fortune. So we've got a long-term residual income we can build, but we have to be willing to spend a little bit of time here and there to be able to build that. Secondly, sometimes people say, well, I just don't have any money to get started up in a business. Well, if you don't have any money, let me just submit to you this. If you don't have money right now, then that's why what you're doing right now that's not providing you the proper income that you need, we can use this business as a vehicle to change that situation. In the next 6 to 12 months, using our proven formula, we'll show you and we'll work with you step by step. We can help you to build a predictable revenue that will come in based on your LegalShield business. So let's recap. Number one, you want to make sure you have a rock-solid company, and we do. And why is that important? Because you're going to build up a customer base. And as you build that customer base, you want to make sure the company's going to be here 5, 10, 20, 30 years from now, still paying you your residual income that you're building right now. So number one, rock solid. Number two, is there a need in the marketplace? You probably understand now how big the need really is. Opening up the doors to the legal system for the very first time, giving people the peace of mind and the protection against identity theft, the crime epidemic, the need is very significant. Number three, the product. We want to make sure that the product is actually filling that need. I did not want to have to put my pride in my back pocket to go out there and talk to somebody about something I wanted to market to them. I feel proud to be marketing LegalShield. I use it. I want everybody I care about, everybody that I know, I want them all to benefit by this membership. Number four, compensation. Look, you're here looking at this presentation because you heard there is a very significant business opportunity involved. Well, look, you're at the right place at the right time. Huge upfront money. If you have now needs, we have now income. If you're looking to plan for retirement and you want to be able to build a nest egg for the future, you got the now money, but you also have the residual cash flow. So you have now and later income. And on top of that, the fifth and most important element or criteria is the timing. Right now, we're positioned at the front end of a massive, massive curve of growth. And if you get involved right now and you ride this new wave that we're experiencing, you will be very, very thankful that you spent the next couple months or couple years building up a very significant business that's going to pay you for the rest of your life. Now, why are people joining LegalShield? Well, for several reasons. Number one, they believe in the product. They believe in the services that we market. They also desire more income. They desire personal and professional growth, and we have amazing growth that we actually get a chance to experience as a part of this business and a part of this company. They also enjoy the people that are here and the new friends that they make. And I want to encourage you to be a new friend of LegalShield. Join the LegalShield family. I can assure you that you'll be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. We will work with you hand in hand. We'll help you to start your business successfully. We'll help you make it a very long-term success. We want to encourage you to get back with the person who had you watch this presentation. Join the team, become part of the family, and we will look forward to building a very successful future together. Have a great day.